Have you ever wondered what you can do with baubles? Well, if you've got some old baubles that you don't like that are on your tree at the moment, you can do this with them. But if you want to make them from fresh, you can get these little clear baubles relatively cheaply. I will link them in the description below. And you can make some amazing little baubles. Now, I've been inspired by Sarah Davies, who's one of the Dragons in the UK. I'm not sure what it's called in America, but they do have a similar version in America. And she's amazing crafter. And this is inspired by something that she did a while ago. So what I need to do is set myself up to start with. So I've got myself a piece of Oasis foam here. All I'm doing is covering it with a bit of paper so the next stage doesn't damage it. And before I set this up, what I'm going to do is I'm going to give these a little bit of a sanding with about 100 grit sandpaper, or 120 because that's what I've got nearby, just to give them a bit of a key. If you're using pre-made baubles that you've had a few years, then unless they've got lots of bits sticking out of them, you won't need to do this stage. So there we go, that's roughed that up enough now. I'm going to do all 4 like that, and then I'll show you what I'm going to do next. But now I've got all those roughed up, all I'm going to do is quickly just go over them with a cloth and get any dust off. And then all I need to do is pop them on a lolly stick like this, push them into the Oasis, and now I'm going to spray them just probably 1 coat with a plastic primer. And this will give it a really good key and make sure nothing flakes off or peels off. If you're spraying inside, always wear a mask and work in a very well ventilated area. I will be putting my extractor fan on in a second. Well, these are all dry now, so I can just move those out of the way for a second or two while I mix up my paints. Now, I'm going to be using the Arteza iridescent paints. I love them. And some gold paint. Get my paintbrush and my little water things that I made a long time ago on my other channel that I love. I use them all the time. And this is where the magic is. So the first one I'm going to do is I'm going to use this lemon yellow. I'm going to pop a little bit of paint in there. I don't need too much. And now I've got Common or Garden bicarbonate of soda that's been in my studio quite a while because it's gone a bit lumpy. And what I'm going to do is put that in there until it gives me paste, but one I can still paint on with. So that's not enough as yet. Double that amount in, I think. I'm not going to need much more paint than that, so I'm adding my bicarbonate of soda in so I don't have to add any more paint in. I don't want to waste it. There we go. So I've got it to the right texture now. Actually, I think I could probably get away with a little bit more bicarb in there. Yeah, there we go. That'll be enough now. And all I need to do is take my bauble like this. Put the lid on that so I don't knock it down. And now I'm going to dip my paintbrush in and go over this in like zigzaggy patterns so I've got texture on it. Texture I'm really looking for. Look how lovely. I'm not sure if the camera's picking out beautiful and iridescent that is. And because we've sprayed it with this white, then we're going to get that come through rather than the clear. You can give it more than 1 coat if you want to do it more than 1 coat. There we go. So now all we need to do is finish off the rest in exactly the same way and pop this back on there to dry. So I'll finish off the rest and then I'll show you what I'm going to do next to bring them up and give them that extra wow wow wow. Well, these are all coated now. All I need to do is wait for them to dry. With the bicarbonate of soda, the paint is on there quite thick, and so it's going to take a few hours to dry, but we'll see. And then I'll show you how we're going to really glam them up. These are all dry now. So what I'm going to do is, before I carry on and glam them up, what I'm going to do is give them just a quick coat of this paint. Same paint all the way over each one. So I'm using and that way if I've got any missed bits or anything like that, it will cover that up nicely. It'll also give it a little bit more depth of colour because it's neat rather than mixed with the bicarbonate of soda. But it won't take away those lovely shapes and texture that we've got on there. And it's at this stage I can paint where the little clasps or the grips go that are for the tree. Pop it back on my stick and we can leave that to dry. That's not going to take too long to dry that now. It's only a very thin layer. It'll really make a great big difference to this gold one. It'll come out nice and gold again. Well, these are all lovely and dry now, and they look quite pretty like that, but they're not sparkly enough for me. So what I'm going to do is take these off here for the moment. Pop that to one side. And now I'm going to sparkle these up a little bit. And how I'm going to do that is I'm going to take some ordinary gloss varnish. This is just the decorator's varnish, but any gloss varnish should do. Put a little bit of that into a shot glass. So I'm going to take a colour that's either a slightly different colour or a contrasting tone. So for here I've got an orange mica powder, and I'm going to pop a bit into that varnish. Give that a mix in. Now we don't want a thick paste, we just want to be able to colour it like that, so it still can be brushed on. So like that. And then we're also going to add some glitter. Of course we're going to add some glitter. And this is the laser silver glitter. So we've got a little bit of that in there. Now I'm just taking a brush, a stiffish brush. I'm going to pick that up like that. And now I'm going to dry brush that mixture over here. Got that kind of contrast to it. All I'm doing is giving it some low lights or highlights of it. All over. While it's still wet, I'm going to sprinkle some glitter over it as well. Like that. Take my brush and brush some of that off. There we are. And now I'm going to leave that to dry. For this one, I'm going to be using a bronze purple. For this one, I'm going to be using an amber. And for that one, I'm going to be using chestnut and doing it exactly the same way. And then I will show you what it looks like at the end. So now they're all dry, what I'm going to do is give them a quick spray with a crystal clear gloss varnish. You don't need to do this stage if you don't want to, but I think it finishes them off really well. Nice even coat going all the way around. Well, these are all done now. All I need to do is pop the tops in, and it's amazing how much difference they look when the tops are all popped in and the ribbons are on. It doesn't take long, just squeeze them together, pop them in. And now all I need to do is put a ribbon through them, a little bow, or in my case, a little knot on the top. And there we are. It's all sparkly, and when the lights are on the tree, these look amazing. All sparkly and all textured. They come out really well. There we go, all done. Lovely and sparkly. You can do them all the same colour. You can do them different colours. You can use old baubles for them. Or you, like I did, you can make fresh baubles. I'll link everything that I used in the description below so you can easily get hold of it and make these great little fun projects to do with your kids or just to do on your own. If you want to learn more about making Christmas decorations, then check out the video I've got coming up next on how I made my very first wreath. Boot that like button, hit that subscribe button, but most of all, enjoy your crafting. Take care. Bye.